Okay, so we're just gonna try this. I am sitting outside my kids' homeschool co-op in the car. I know, like, good YouTubers would have a great background and everything would be perfect. That is not me. So we're gonna try to kill two birds with one stone as I wait for my kids before we head off to volleyball practice. So I've had so many people ask me what we used last year for curriculum and what we used this year for curriculum, and I haven't like jumped on the share train only because I felt like we'd only had a couple of years of homeschooling and I didn't want to be that person who shares an opinion without having a good reason for it. And also, every time, this is just me, maybe you don't have this problem, but every time I share with somebody what homeschool curriculum I'm using, they're like, oh, I use this. And they never just accept. I just had this the other day with someone who was like, oh, well, and then, you know, you get the guilt. But since so many people have asked, I'm going to go ahead and share what we're using, and then you can at home make the face or have the secret conversation about what you think is better. But this is what we're doing. We actually switched it up this year, and I'm pretty excited. We've only had a week, but so far so good. I've really loved it. So we switched from, well, there will be other videos. I'll link other videos of what we used last year. But this year we're going to use as our spine the Mindful Heart, which is brand new curriculum. They actually haven't even finished making all of it, but I saw it and I was like, oh, I'll just try the first one. They'll send you the first one for free. I just had to pay shipping. And so I thought, well, I mean, no loss. I paid the shipping and I got the first one. And actually at first I was a little bit confused how I would use it. But as I really got looking at it, I got pretty excited. So we're using that as like our spine. But since it's not all completely created, and because we have some other things in play, we are adding in some other stuff. So we're using the Mindful Heart. I'm going to share it with you so that you can see. It is a Latter-day Saint Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saint focused curriculum, and that's why I decided to go with it. I think that you could use it if you weren't LDS, but you would just have to take certain parts out. So far we've only done 1 week, so I can't 100% say that, but I think you could pretty easily adapt it to any Christian religion. But since we are members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, we have used it so far as is. And one thing that I noticed is that right off the bat, we were learning about Native Americans, and it had an audio about the descendants of Lehi, and it kind of brought it all together for my kids. And so we really, really loved that because we don't always get that in, well, any other curriculum. So that has been really nice. I really just want to show it to you because it's so beautiful, and the storybook has been so good. It's just so, okay, I digress like I always do, but we're using that as our spine. We already had ordered some science units from the Good and the Beautiful, and randomly they kind of match up with our new curriculum, and so we're kind of using them together. So I start our day with the Mindful Heart, and we do that together with both of my kids, and we actually got our ukulele, so we do our song, our scripture, our prayer, our calendar. We do our heart and soul time, and then we kind of switch, you know, and go off from that. Ethan does the science from the Mindful Heart, but then we are also, because the first unit was on rocks and minerals, we're also doubling up on science and doing the Good and the Beautiful geology unit because we already had it and Ethan was really excited about it. So we're using both, and it's been great. So the Mindful Heart kind of has a little bit of introduction to it. I would say it doesn't quite go as deep, which is awesome if you have little kids who maybe aren't like needing a full science. Ethan is all about science, so we use both, and we do our time together with Emerson, and then she goes and does her science which I'll probably just talk about in another video because middle school or upper middle school is very different than what we're doing with Ethan. But so for him, then we go ahead and do our The Good and the Beautiful geology. Okay, another place that we stray away from the Mindful Heart is we do an organized math curriculum, and we actually use The Good and the Beautiful. So we do a lot of going back and forth. Ethan was using The Good and the Beautiful last year, and we didn't finish up his book, so we've actually just continued on with the book that he was using last year, and we're really happy. I love The Good and the Beautiful math. I'm pretty sure that the creator of the Mindful Heart curriculum also did a lot of work with The Good and the Beautiful math, so I don't even feel like I'm like a traitor because I love them both. I think the curriculums are both so beautiful, and they just, I don't know, it's just, they're so lovely, and when you're doing them with your kids, it's like the perfect combination of learning and feeling. I don't know if that makes sense, but I just love both curriculums. So basically the goal of the Mindful Heart curriculum is to all be together as a family, and we do all of our combined stuff. So we kind of use it as our morning basket. We don't call it that, but we do all of those things together in the morning. We do our scripture and hymn. We do our calendar. I love that it's right on the list in the parent guide, because sometimes those things would get forgotten for me, and when it's right there, I love that I can just go down the list. Then we will do our other stuff together. So right now it's been Native Americans, and there's journaling every day. The first day I was a little concerned because my kids did not want to do it, and they didn't write very much, but then they had a free journal on the fourth day. It was like an open topic, like you could just write whatever you want. And Ethan wrote a poem, not even kidding, just on his own. I told them, I read what it said. It said, you can be creative. You can write a poem. You can write about your day. You can write about something you learned. He wrote a poem, and Emerson wrote the cutest little short story. So even though the 4 days before that, or 3 days or whatever, they hadn't really loved the journaling when they were listening, I was a little concerned because I'm like, they're not writing anything down. Are they getting anything out of this? They verbally would share what they heard, but they just weren't writing it. But then when that fourth day came around and they had that free journal, I was like, I mean, how do you complain about a poem and a short story? And another journal entry was supposed to be about a time when they felt the Spirit, and he wrote when he got baptized. So even though he hadn't written a lot, at least it was a time that he was able to remember and think about that and think about feeling the Spirit. And so I was thrilled with that journal entry. Any time of the day where we're able to talk about Christ and what we believe makes me feel like a homeschool success. So I love that. I have kind of a unique situation with Ethan because of his dyslexia. We were going to hold off on like an organized language arts curriculum this year, and we were going to work on some dyslexia intervention for him. So it's been really good for us to have the Mindful Heart curriculum for language arts and history kind of combined. So we read out of the Mindful Heart storybook. He really likes the stories. They're beautiful. Right now it's like Indian folk tales, and so he's all into that. And then we also have another history that we combined in because, so I'm a history major. I used to teach history and language arts, and so I'm a huge history nerd. Ethan loves history, so I knew that I could get him to read if it was history. Sometimes I can't get him to read other things, so I actually got a Notgrass history, American history book, and we're gonna see how that goes together. We just got the Notgrass in, so I haven't tried it in real life. We'll see. It might be too much, but my goal is to have the Mindful Heart curriculum be our base, and like right now we're doing Native Americans, and then we'll get more into like settlers and more other American history, and also use the Notgrass for him to do some independent work, because that's something we need to work on with Ethan. I love having the combined time, but he needs a little like non-mom structure time. So I know it's totally untraditional, but that's what I love about homeschool, is I can take whatever curriculum I want and make it work for my family, and I'm hoping this is going to be the best choice. But I'll do another video about Notgrass. I'll do another video about the good and the beautiful stuff we're using. I'll do another video about some geography that we're doing also from Notgrass. But so far, I'm in love with the Mindful Heart. It is so nice to have the hymns right there. It's so nice to have scriptures added in. It's so nice to just know that what we're doing is going to go along with what we are already learning at church. I don't know. I've just loved it so far. Okay, I thought a flip through might help a little bit. So the Mindful Heart is divided up by age, basically, or level. And so there's different levels for the age of the kids and where they're at. And it describes really easily how to pick which level to get for your kids. So I have Emerson in one level and Ethan in another level. And even though we're doing stuff together, the books are a little bit different. You can see that their output is a little bit different. Emerson takes a little more time with hers than Ethan, but they're both learning. Then there's the parent guide, and it has everything kind of exactly scripted out for what to do for the day. And I love that because I can just look at it and go right through. We do get a little off on the heart and mind time because we do not do our math and things like that with the Mindful Heart. So I just will add in what it is that we're doing from our other subjects that day. The student books only have what the students will need. It doesn't have the entire script and schedule for the day. So it contains their journaling pages, there's some coloring pages, the hymn and the scripture for them to learn, and the songs to sing. So it has everything that they will need to participate, but then it doesn't have all of the extra stuff. So I like that I can then have that after we're done with this. I will have their journals. I will have their pictures that they colored. The storybook is one of my favorite parts. It combines their science and the history portion together. So it had some Indian tales in it, and then it also has the science that we need to read about, and the pictures are beautiful. We have really, really loved the storybook. And I love that it tells you exactly when to use it. So a lot of the curriculum is consumable, but the storybook, I love that it's something that you could keep and go back to. Another thing that I have really enjoyed is the art kit, and so it comes with the picture pack, and the pictures are lovely. We've had a lot of fun looking at the beautiful pictures and trying to see what the life was like for the Native Americans. I know the other sections will be just as beautiful as this one. So the picture pack really has been a fun addition for us because it's pictures that I would not have found on my own. I wouldn't have gone and researched those things and found the beautiful pictures, but they really do add a lot to our learning. I love when a curriculum adds in little things like this fun storyboard from Unit 1. This is something that I would never come up with on my own, but it makes me feel like I am like nailing the homeschool mom thing. Like, wow, look at this amazing thing we're doing. All I did was cut it out. So the English teacher in me cannot resist a good read aloud. There was a couple of options for this unit. We chose the one that came right from the Mindful Heart. Obviously, even our cat likes it. So Emerson's not sure how she feels about read alouds, but we just keep doing them, and the kids are learning a lot. So I don't see that stopping anytime soon. One thing I am waiting for is there is a unit for the older kids that's coming out from the Mindful Heart. I'm holding off. It's supposed to be out sometime this month, and I'm going to use that one with Emerson just kind of to extend her learning a little further. I almost got the one with the World War I and World War II about seeing the light in the darkness. It was beautiful, and I looked through that unit and I really wanted it, but because she's only in 8th grade, I decided to hold off and maybe do this younger one and then save that one for another time. I have a problem where when I see something new, I'm like, ooh, we need that right now, even though it's probably not the perfect situation for it. But I'm thinking about getting it for myself. I know that's really weird, but it was beautiful. It was learning about World War I, World War II, but it also had conference talks mix in and scripture and video, and it just seemed really super amazing. So I'm hoping that the new one that comes for the younger ages is just as wonderful, because I'm all in. I'm so ready for it. I just think it's going to be amazing. And like I said, I might just order the other one anyways and just kind of go through it and do it on my own, because like I said, history nerd, maybe going to homeschool myself. We'll see. Okay, I could go on, but I will save that for another video. I mentioned at the beginning of this video that there would be a giveaway, and there is. The Mindful Heart has generously offered to give away 2 $100 gift cards to use on your very own curriculum from the Mindful Heart. So head over to my Instagram at Orchard Slope. You'll be able to find all the details about that giveaway, and you'll be able to keep up to date with our day-to-day homeschooling journey. And make sure that you subscribe to my channel here at Orchard Slope so that you can see all the things that we're up to, all the new curriculum that's coming out. I will keep you updated on the curriculum that we're using. I will soon have videos out about our Notgrass history and our Notgrass geography. Those will be 2 videos that will be coming up soon. You can also keep up to date on what's happening in our home, all of our travels, all the fun things. So make sure you hit that subscribe button and have a great day.